लोगों से जानवरों जैसा व्यवहार किया जा रहा है। मानवता इंसानियत को शर्मसार कर देने वाली ये तस्वीरें सामने आई हैं। जानवरों की तरह लोगों को खाना दिया जा रहा है। भूख प्यास से परेशान लोग खाने पर टूट पड़े हैं। तो आगरा की ये तस्वीरें, हमारी ये तस्वीरें आपको बता दें कि
I want to introduce you to a bit of history that you are probably not familiar with. I'm not surprised they wouldn't want to remember the horrors of Action T4. Action T4. Okay, now I want you to remember that man at the WHO is saying, look, if we find anybody who is infected, we are going to remove them from the home and put them who knows where. This was a law that Hitler passed where they decided to eliminate all undesirables from society. Doctors and midwives had to report from August 1939 all cases of newborns with severe disabilities, and the guardian consent element soon disappeared. Well, it's gone from the West now in the contact tracing thing, isn't it? So this contact tracing is deeply, deeply sinister. Look at those condemned patients, and doesn't it just grate on you? Say condemned patients, not criminals, condemned patients. And please remember that they are letting out criminals all across the world. They are letting them out of prisons to save them from COVID, while contact tracing and trying to quarantine everybody else. If that doesn't sound a little bit dodgy to you, you might want to think about it a little bit harder if you can. Are being offered jobs, don't do it. Don't do it. It is not worth your soul, because you're equal in Nazi Germany or communist China during the Cultural Revolution, or communist Russia when they starved all those people in the Ukraine. That it is the Cheka, it is the Gestapo, it is the Stasi, as the people that history reviles and looks down on.
Remember, everybody that will be quarantined will be 14 days from the last contact. And there's no minimum times. This could be indefinite. Now you're thinking, there's just no way. Like, what about my privacy? How do I have to share this information? And I can tell you, when I went through the contact tracing classes, they tout that you are doing this contact tracing for the greater good. You are helping people not spread the disease. It is very important that people have privacy, but when it comes to the greater good, your privacy is null and void. Now, as soon as you get a positive test result, this goes directly to an electronic database. Let me tell you, I took this directly off the training website, that the isolation or quarantine can be mandated and enforced. And there's other health enforcements, such as vaccines, are requirements to take medicine, because you cannot risk being infected and giving it to others.
When you're tested for COVID-19, you might assume that your test result will stay confidential with your doctor and the health department. After all, that's how it usually works with medical information, but we're living in unusual times. The Associated Press has revealed that across America, there's widespread sharing of medical information between health officials and law enforcement. Denver is doing it, so's El Paso County.
It is law enforcement specific information that is only in our computer-aided dispatch.
Jacqueline Kirby is with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. She says addresses are flagged identifying homes of people who have tested positive for COVID-19.
I want to share with you, this is just something in California, that's where I'm located. But you can read here, and I'm assuming that a lot of other states have similar things. This shows that they can, because you can see here, a threat of a communicable disease outbreak or epidemic that threatens the public health, it gives them the rights to do this. Adopt and enforce regulations requiring strict or modified isolations or quarantine for any contagious infections or communicable diseases. It takes measures as necessary to ascertain the nature of disease and prevent its spread. It can take control of the body of any living person or the corpse of any deceased. It can quarantine, isolate, inspect, and disinfect persons, animal, houses, rooms, and other property. So, based on what we have right now, I don't have any privacy rights. You can see here, this is just New Jersey. I just wanted to throw this out there because other states have laws. This was enacted in 2005. So I suggest you go start researching what is allowed in your state and what rights you have given up when you start looking at a disease that could pose a risk to the health of the population. In order to go anywhere, you have to have the app. So if you want to get on a plane, you have to show the app that you are not under quarantine or isolation. You want to get into work, you have to show your app. You want to get on a train, you have to show your app. So they said, oh, it's voluntary. They had the most downloads, more than Pokemon Go, because guess what? You couldn't go back to life without downloading the app. Now, I also put here New Zealand's app. What they do is they give you a QR code. You have to scan that QR code to get anywhere. So if you're supposed to be on quarantine or isolated, guess what? You're not getting anywhere because your app doesn't show you're cleared. So I would suggest checking out this bill, HR 6666. And basically, there's $100 billion that they're asking for 2020 and additional years for subsequent fiscal year financing for 2021 and beyond. So if you think this isn't happening and you think they're not investing a lot of money in it, they are. They're trying to get $100 billion to track and trace us and keep us quarantined. So basically, they're saying, even if you had antibodies at the coronavirus, it's still unknown if that protects you from getting sick again. There's probably only one way that you're going to be able to get out of your house, and that's going to be vaccinated. So just watch out for that, because that is really becoming a hot topic of the vaccination, and that might be the only way that you're going to be released out of this tracking and tracing in terms of being allowed to go into stores.
And that's what they mean by it, is where government-controlled medical tyranny is what it would amount to. And we have to understand the history behind all of this, because this is exactly what they did in Nazi Germany. Same thing. And what Governor Cuomo said there at the beginning, where he talks about how you get a person tested, then once you find out that that person has coronavirus, you do contact tracing. You trace back, who did you have contact with? And then you go and you investigate all the people that they had contact with, right? Contact tracing, tracing it back. Combine this now, remember what the guy with the World Health Organization said, the Irish guy, they keep playing him all over the internet and on the news, talking about going into people's homes and taking the family members out of the homes, probably taking custody of children, right, from a home where there was some contact. They traced the coronavirus contact back to somebody's family. That's where all of this appears to be headed.